Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that can be tough to discuss, but is oh so important for a healthy relationship maturity in marriage. Specifically, we're going to be looking at some signs that might indicate immaturity in a wife. Now, this isn't about pointing fingers or placing blame. It's about self-reflection, understanding, and ultimately growth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. You know, folks, conflict is a natural part of any relationship. It's how you handle it that determines the health and longevity of your bond. When I see couples, and particularly wives, retreating to separate rooms or even parts of the house to avoid disagreements, it raises a big red flag. That's not problem solving, that's problem avoiding. And let me tell you, problems don't just disappear when you ignore them. They fester, they grow, and they come back with a vengeance. Marriage is about communication, about facing challenges head-on, together. Running away from conflict only creates distance and resentment. Now, I understand that everyone needs their space sometimes, and taking a moment to cool down during a heated argument can be helpful. But when this avoidance becomes a pattern, it's a sign of immaturity, a lack of willingness to engage in the hard work that a healthy marriage requires. This one really gets under my skin, folks. There's absolutely no room in a marriage, or any relationship for that matter, for emotional abuse. And when a wife resorts to attacking her husband's masculinity, questioning his manhood, or belittling him, it's not only hurtful, it's downright destructive. This kind of behavior stems from deep-seated insecurity and immaturity. It's a way of trying to control the relationship by tearing down your partner. A mature woman, a loving wife, builds her partner up, supports him, and communicates her needs and concerns with respect. Let me be crystal clear. Threatening divorce or separation every time you have an argument isn't a sign of strength, it's a sign of manipulation. It's emotional blackmail, plain and simple, and it creates a toxic environment where your partner is constantly walking on eggshells, afraid to express their true feelings for fear of triggering another outburst. Mature partners, they tackle issues head-on. They communicate, they compromise, and they work together to find solutions. They don't throw around threats like grenades, blowing up the foundation of their relationship every time things get tough. We all get angry sometimes, that's human nature, but when anger becomes the default response, when every little thing sparks a major meltdown, it's time to take a step back and examine what's really going on. Immature individuals, they haven't developed the emotional regulation skills to deal with life's ups and downs in a healthy way. They overreact, they lash out, and they create unnecessary drama. Now, this isn't to say that you should bottle up your emotions, but it's about learning to communicate your feelings in a constructive way, without resorting to yelling, name-calling, or throwing things. Forgiveness, folks. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Holding on to grudges, replaying past hurts over and over in your mind, that's like drinking poison and expecting your partner to die. It eats away at you, it poisons your relationship, and it prevents you from moving forward. We all make mistakes, we all screw up. A mature wife understands this. She's able to forgive, to let go of the past, and to build a future free from the weight of resentment. You know, I've never met a person who was right 100% of the time. And in a marriage, being right is far less important than being happy. The need to always be right, to win every argument, it stems from insecurity and a lack of true self-confidence. It creates a dynamic where one partner feels constantly judged and criticized, while the other is unwilling to acknowledge their own flaws. A mature wife, she understands that it's okay to be wrong sometimes. She's open to different perspectives, willing to compromise, and values her partner's feelings over her own need to be right. Marriage means building a new family, a unit that comes first. Now, that doesn't mean you love your parents or siblings any less. but it does mean that your spouse and the family you create together become your top priority. When a wife consistently puts her family of origin's needs and opinions above her husband's, it creates division and resentment. It sends the message that he's not truly the most important person in her life. Newsflash, folks, marriage isn't about getting your needs met all the time. It's about give and take, about mutual respect, and about putting in the work to build a life together. When a wife operates from a sense of entitlement, expecting to be waited on hand and foot, demanding constant attention and praise, it creates an imbalance in the relationship. Marriage is a partnership, not a dictatorship. Look, I understand that navigating in-law relationships can be tricky. But when a wife constantly complains about her in-laws, picks fights, or creates drama, it's a sign that she hasn't fully transitioned into her role as a wife and partner. It's time to grow up, rise above the petty squabbles, and focus on building healthy, respectful relationships with the people who are important to your spouse. Let me be crystal clear, threats of any kind have no place in a healthy relationship. Whether it's physical violence, verbal abuse, or constantly threatening to pack your bags and walk away, this kind of behavior is unacceptable. It creates an environment of fear and control, and it's a major red flag for abuse. If you're in a situation like this, please reach out for help. You deserve to feel safe and respected in your own home. Just because you're married doesn't mean your partner's life revolves entirely around you. They have their own interests, their own friends, and their own need for some degree of independence. When a wife expects to be the center of her husband's universe, demanding constant attention, dictating who he can and can't see, it's a sign of insecurity and a lack of trust. A healthy marriage is built on a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and genuine care for one another. When a wife is more concerned with bragging about her husband's accomplishments to boost her own ego or seek validation from others, it's a sign that her priorities are out of whack. True love doesn't need an audience. It thrives in the quiet moments of shared connection and genuine appreciation. Jealousy, folks, it's a powerful emotion. And if it's not kept in check, it can wreak havoc on a marriage. Now, a little bit of jealousy here and there is normal. But when a wife flies off the handle every time her husband so much as looks at another woman, accuses him of cheating, or constantly checks his phone, it's a sign of deep-seated insecurity. This one's a big one, folks. When a wife resorts to daring her husband to cheat, to pursue other women, she's playing a dangerous game. This kind of behavior is not only immature, but incredibly hurtful. It's a sign of deep insecurity and a complete disregard for the sanctity of the marital commitment. Marriage is built on trust, respect, and a willingness to work through challenges together. It's not a game to be played with people's hearts. Remember, marriage requires maturity, understanding, and empathy to thrive. It's about choosing to show up for your partner, even when it's hard. It's about communicating openly and honestly, even when it's uncomfortable. And it's about never, ever giving up on the love that brought you together in the first place. Subscribe to our channel for more insightful content and join the conversation in the comments below.